back, welcome back, welcome. Indeed, this is the Variety Online News, bringing you continuation of the live broadcast from the Supreme Court on the ongoing case on Arson on the Capitol building. This case is before the Criminal Court A here at the Supreme Court of Liberia. And folks, there are more and more development coming up on our end here as we bring you this live coverage. And so folks, this hearing is expected to begin at 11:45, and we'll have 1 minute pushing up to 11:45. In Liberia here we have 16 minutes pushing up to 12 o'clock, so it's 11:44. So it's a minute to commence this all the most talk about hearing of a motion to suppress evidence filed by the defense counsel, Councilor Arson, representing the defendant. And so folks, here at the Supreme Court of Liberia at this hour, my name is Arson. I'm here along with my colleague Rachel Watson, who is in the hall giving more updates, and as it unfolds and we relate it out here to the public. As Watson is in the hall providing an update, we are here explaining to you what's unfolding in the house at this time. So folks, yes, to have you informed, today is the final ruling on a motion to suppress evidence filed by the defense team in the ongoing Arson case at the Capitol building. And folks, for those of you following, you want to know what's the significance of today's ruling. Today's ruling is major because when the judge ruled in favor of the defense counsel, that's Councilor Arson representing the defendant. That's former Speaker J. Falanti Kofa and others. It means that former Speaker Kofa and others will walk away as free people. But if the ruling goes against them, they will face the full trial. So how this motion to suppress evidence came about? Last week, the defense counsel filed a motion to suppress evidence. The evidence provided before the court by the prosecuting team lacks credibility, and the defense counsel provided 32 counts reasons for not accepting the prosecution evidence on grounds that those defendants weren't given the right to counsel. The Liberia National Police alongside the NSA were solely involved into this process, thereby creating harms to the lives of those defendants. The defense counsel argued that their clients were sodomized in getting those information by those officers of the NSA. They argue that the NSA has no legal jurisdiction, the NSA has no legal authority to compel criminal matters or defender of criminal matters to provide evidence. They are clogged with the responsibility of money laundering and some other major cases that has to do with security nature. So yes, they argued, and the judge of the Criminal Court A, Judge Roosevelt Zerweli, in his own wisdom, ordered the immediate transfer of those defendants who were taken to the Kakata Central Prison to be transferred to the Monrovia Central Prison on grounds of legal jurisdiction. So announcing Chief Arthur Johnson. So the unconfirmed report says or suggests that the criminal court Judge Roosevelt A. Willie is expected to rule against the defense counsel motion of suppression of evidence, and that means that former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa and others are now going into a full trial. And so, folks, yes, the time is 11:45. So it's 10 minutes up to 12 o'clock here, 11:50, and the hearing was expected to start by 11:45. So, folks, yes, we are still here bringing you this coverage. My name is Archie Bowen. I'm out here bringing this live coverage. My colleague Rachel Watson is in the hall, giving us some updates of happening there from in the hall while I'm out here bringing this live coverage. So folks, keep following, share, invite all of the witness this live coverage. This is the Variety Online News. So in the presence of officers from the Liberia National Police, they've been here since this morning. Up to this time, they are still here. And folks, it is a very, very rainy day in central Monrovia. It's a very rainy day here. I should bring you this coverage. So yes, we're seeing the defense counsel. So Arthur Johnson is here in the tennis, announcing so folks, keep following. So folks, that's it. We hope to speak to him here this morning. Counselor, good morning. And so he's not giving you the attention this morning. He's not giving you the attention this morning. But yeah, we are still here. Keep following. This is Variety Online News. My name is Archie Bowen. Bringing you this live coverage. The final hearing of the motion of suppression filed by the defense counsel in the ongoing Arson case. The Arson case started approximately 8 months ago between former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa and the state on the Arson attack on the Capitol building, Some part of last year, we witnessed this a very tragic and very terrible situation at the Capitol building when the House of Representatives were experiencing a power struggle, and some group of majority lawmakers gathered against the leadership of former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa. Those lawmakers argue that they can no longer sit under the gavel of former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa, that they have declared vote of no confidence in him as Speaker. And in that light, they were back and forth going here and there between those lawmakers, the majority bloc and the minority bloc. And in that fight, we witnessed the tragic incident of the John Chambers, by which time those majority lawmakers were using as their place to host session. So the John Chamber is where the majority lawmakers were using to conduct their session when one morning on that beautiful December 24th of December 16th, morning, when we saw the Capitol building, John Chambers, on fire. Something that shocked the entire internet, something that went viral. And since then, the Liberia National Police have been involved. They brought fire experts in the country to do investigation on the perpetrators and to apprehend those behind the scene of setting ablaze the Capitol building. The president went on the scene and made some remarks, all of those things. We are here at the final and at the almost any part of it, because from this now we will be going to the full trial, and from the full trial, if those defendants are found guilty, next is to restitute the property, because it is a bearable crime under our law. So it means that the defendant now have the opportunity to pay the damage cost of the property. So folks, still here is where we are. Keep following this and tell us where you are watching us from. Share, invite all of the listeners this live coverage. My name is Arson out here bringing you this very important coverage of the final hearing of the motion of suppression filed by the Defense Counsel against the state in the ongoing Arson case here at the Criminal Court A at the Supreme Court of Liberia. So folks, keep following, share, and invite all of the witnesses. My colleague Arson is up in the hall and he's relating the information out here to me. So yes, someone says that there must be a logical conclusion in the case. Francis Vanny Roberts, there must be a logical conclusion. Frank Mambo said those guys are very wicked to our country. So indeed, if you are following, drop your comments. Let's get your views. Let's get your own analysis on this saga of the Arson attack on the Capitol. What's the takes? Let's listen to you. Morris PC, I'm watching from Grand Cayman County, King George. And so folks, thank you so much for joining us. Let's get your views as we are getting unconfirmed report that the Criminal Court A, George Roosevelt Zell Willie is expected to rule against the Defense Counsel plead for motion of suppression. And folks, these guys are guilty already. Indeed, the law is the law. Nathaniel Mobile. So fully Camara, we need justice. Mohammed J. Jackson, following from Amadou Town, Roosevelt Johnson, Bomi County. And so yes, thank you so much. Keep following, share. The case is at a definite stage of our judicial system. So start Bertrand Bishop Baffling. Thank you so much for your inputs. Let's get more views and analysis from you all watching, share, invite all of the witness. So it means that if the judge of the Criminal Court A rules against the Defense Counsel plea of suppressing evidence, then it definitely means that former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa and others are expected to face full trial. So, colleague Jackson, I'm interested. I'm following you from Zulu Westgate. J. Martin Kofa. Martin Kofa, thank you for joining us. And indeed, it's a pleasure to have you on the platform. So, I'm watching from Kolaun District, Mark Doon. I'm watching from Turkey. That is why they are not making good law for our country. Frank Momo, thank you for your inputs. Eric Doe, watching tonight from Mindball City, Australia. Alonsi Light Hair Guide. Jonas Maker, thank you so much. They will go to trial, trust me. And folks, that's it. We have gotten unconfirmed report. This institution, Variety Online News, have gotten unconfirmed report that George Roosevelt Willie of the Criminal Court A will definitely rule against the defense counsel appeal to suppress the evidence, but we state against defendants J. Fonati Kofa, Dexin, Wulawi Sibo, Jacob Debbie, Abu Baran Kamara, and others. Representative Kofa said the state never had evidence, but now he was. So yes, and that's it. We are at the almost concluding stage of this all-important Arson case. So yes, keep following the Variety Online News, sharing this live coverage. We have 12 o'clock in Liberia. It is 12 noon here in Liberia, and we are currently at the Supreme Court, where the Criminal Court A is expected to provide a final ruling on the motion of suppression of evidence filed by the defense counsel Arthur Johnson against his defendants or clients. The defense counsel argues that his client were not given right to counsel, that the Liberia National Police took the matter into their hands, and in fact the NSA were involved into the process, suppressing those defendants to provide wrong evidence or information to the public under suppression, and they were coerced by members of the NSA. So with all of those counts and logical appeal, the Judge Roosevelt fair will order the immediate transfer of those defendants from the Magibi court and there in Kakatan back to the Morovia Central Prison. So last week we witnessed that. You listening to some of those defendants, the lack of J. Fonati Kova, who said the evidence is not authentic. Those evidence provided by the prosecuting team was not authentic. It lacks credibility, all of those things. So now today is the final ruling of the motion filed by the defense counsel to suppress evidence. And this is very, very important, because this case, at this point, if the judge rules against J. Fonati Kova and others, it means that they are expected to fix the full bench of trial. If the judge accepts the defense counsel appeal to suppress evidence, that means that former Speaker J. Fonati Kova and others are free, and that because the prosecuting team cannot take an appeal, the government cannot take an appeal unless the defendants. So yes, and if this case go at the final conclusion, and if for any reason those defendants are found guilty, the crime is a bearable crime under our law. They have the right to restitute the cost of the property. So if they are found guilty, they will be given the opportunity to restitute. And we were told that the damage on the Capitol building cost $28 million. $28 million. The damage on the joint chambers of the Capitol building cost $28 million. So if those defendants are found guilty, they will restitute and the cost amount of the damage on the Capitol building. So yes, this is where we are. Share this live broadcast, invite others, as we are still out here awaiting signals from our colleague, Rachel Watson. Rachel Watson is in the hall. We're giving her hints. So by this time, we expect the hearing to be ongoing. By this time, we expect the hearing to be ongoing. By this time, we expect the hearing because it was expected to commence by 11:45 a.m. here in Liberia, and now we have 5 minutes down the hour, 12 noon. It means that by this time the hearing should be on. So we're still out here bringing this coverage. Still out here bringing this coverage. Out here. So yeah, let's get a view, more and more comments. Let's keep rolling the comments and analysis on this whole Arson case. Let's get your views, Liberians. What do you take, or what do you make of today's ruling? What are your expectations? Though you are not a judge, let's get your view. What are your takes on this case? So Moses is asked a question: How can an evidence be suppressed just like that? So Moses asked a question: How can the evidence be suppressed just like that? Just enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. So that's it. The defense counsel listed 32 counts on why the evidence should be suppressed. That some of those defendants were taken overnight to Magidi County. That in that process, at times, there is an accident, there's unforeseen circumstances, all these counts and other things. The judge asks that those defendants who are at the Kakatan Central Prison be turned over to the Monrovia Central Prison on grounds of legal jurisdiction. So, but today is very significant in this case. Today is very important. Today might see either Furati Kofa and others working as free people, or face the full weight of trial. Today is very important for this case. Today might just be the concluding stage, or today might be the point of concluding this case, because after here, then we're going for full trial, and after the full trial, we are at the end of it. We have been on this for approximately 8 months now. We have been on this for approximately 8 months since the incident took place at the Capitol building. Been on this and now we are still on it here. So yes, this is Liberia. Whosoever found guilty should face the consequence of the justice system. They should fit the full weight of the law. Indeed, the law is the law. No one is above the law. Justice for one, justice for all, and let justice prevail. Let justice prevail. Whosoever found guilty of the act should be prosecuted by law. I think no level of political affiliation, no level of political alignment should be the reasons for which or judgment should be placed on an individual. So yes, we pray that this process for political interference be free, fair, transparent, credible for every Liberians to see it. For authorities, anyone found guilty, let them be prosecuted. This has been the saying of many Liberians, even those in the opposition, those in position, have been saying this for the past months. And this is why we all want as Liberian. This is what we all want as Liberian. The justice is blind, justice cannot see. Whosoever found guilty of it should be prosecuted. And let's see how it goes on today. Let's see what's unfold here. As George Roosevelt said, Willie is expected to hand down a major ruling on this case of a motion of suppression filed by the defense counsel. Yes, let's see how it goes on. So folks, it is a very wet day in central Monrovia. The rain is very heavy here. I'm still here bringing this live coverage. I've been here since this morning, and it's 12 time, the hour 12 o'clock in Monrovia. I should bring you this live coverage. So we are waiting signal from our colleague Rachel Watson, who is here in the hall attending to this hearing. They are providing us update, giving us gist of what's unfolding in the hall as we out here. So all the report suggests that George Roosevelt said what is expected to rule against former Speaker J. Kofa and others. Defense counsel plead a motion to suppress evidence. And that means that former Speaker Kofa and others are expected for a full trial. So if you are following us, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for following. Being here, bringing you this update. Share, invite others to witness, and let's get your views and tell where you are watching us from. Let's get your analysis on this all important case from the Criminal Court A in the Supreme Court in Monrovia. Let's get your view. The Arson case at the Capitol building. As you may be aware, some months back, the witness a huge fire in the joint chambers of the Capitol building, the National Legislature, during the just ended impasse at the House of Representatives. And in that, the governor of Liberia, through its justice arms, have been very vigorous, been very instrumental in bringing to book those perpetrators. And in that, we have former Speaker J. Fanatic and others indicted into the case. They were named person of interest by the Liberia National Police to go from the magistrate court and now at the Criminal Court A. And after that, they will go into the full trial of this case. So as we have it now, it's before the Criminal Court A, and the Criminal Court A judge so forth. The trial has commenced, and as it is right now, the trial has commenced, and the defense counsel has is requesting the court to televise and record the entire proceedings of the trial. Has commenced, and the defense counsel is pleading to the judge to televise and record the entire trial proceeding to get the public sentiment in the case. So we have been informed by our colleague who is in the hall as the trial is ongoing that the trial has commenced, and the defense counsel have submitted and has provided a submission that the trial be televised and recorded for public sentiment in the case. So yes, it is now confirmed that Speaker J. Fanatikova and others are expected to fix the full trial. Speaker J. Fanatikova and others are expected to face full trial as reports from the Supreme Court of Liberia. On today's as the judge of the Criminal Court A, Roosevelt Zeweli, hand down major ruling on the motion of suppression filed by the defense counsel. So yes, we have gotten an intel from inside of the building where the hearing is ongoing that the defense counsel has submitted and the defense counsel is requesting that the trial be televised and recorded for public sentiment into the case. And so folks, here's where we are currently as we speak. Keep posted as we bring you more updates of the major hearing on today's date. Keep posted as we bring you the major hearing, updates of the major hearing as it's ongoing currently as we speak. The case is ongoing. So as it is, former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa and others are expected to face full trial. Former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa and others are expected to face full trial. And the defense counsel is requesting that the trial be televised and recorded. The defense counsel is requesting that the trial be televised and recorded for public sentiment. And so folks, that's it. This is the Variety Online News. My name is Archie Bourne, bringing this live coverage. My colleague Rachel Watson is in the hall. As I'm out here, he's relaying every happenings here from the hall. As I am delivering it here to you, the audience watching this live broadcast. Share this, let it go viral in real time as we bring you this happening. And the defense counsel is making this request in public interest. So the defense counsel are saying that the Supreme Court has ruled on similar matter to allow large screening of the entire proceedings, since in fact there is nothing to hide in this trial. So they are saying that the Supreme Court has ruled on similar matters to allow the large screening. So now the defense counsel are saying that since the Supreme Court have ruled in similar matter to have large screening and there is nothing to hide, they want the trial to be televised and recorded. They are requesting this for public interest. And yes, this is a fresh update from the hall as the hearing is ongoing. This is the fresh update from the defense counsel. They are saying that the Supreme Court have ruled in similar matters of large screening. Since there is nothing in this case to hide, they want the trial to be televised and recorded. So former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa and others are expected to face the full trial, and if found guilty, they will account. If found guilty, they will account for the damage on the Capitol building. So yes, the hearing has commenced, and they are into the case as we speak to you. So the prosecution team asking for denial of the defense counsel request for public sentiment. The prosecution team So the prosecution team is asking the court to deny the defense counsel plea to have the trial televised or recorded. The prosecution team is saying that the defense plea is in bad faith and it's against the court's rules. So the case is ongoing. The case is ongoing. the defense counsel is requesting for the trial to be televised and recorded for public interest, since the court has ruled on similar matters and there is nothing to hide. The defense counsel wants the full trial to be live streamed for the public to witness it as it unfolds. But now the prosecution team is saying that the court should deny the defense counsel plea, and that their plea is in a bad faith, and in fact it's against the court's rule. So this is where we are currently as we speak. The case is ongoing, and our colleague Rachel Watson is providing the update from the hall. And folks, the trial is ongoing. As it is, former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa and others are expected to face full trial after the defense counsel plead of motion to suppress evidence, and it was denied by the Judge Roosevelt Willie of the Criminal Code A. They are now into the hearing, and if this hearing was going to be in favor of the defense counsel plea of motion to suppress evidence, definitely former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa and others were going to walk away as free people. But currently as we speak, they will now face full trial. So in that light, the defense counsel of former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa and others are pleading with the court to have the full trial televised and recorded on large screen. But now, on the contrary, the prosecution team are saying that no, the defense plea is in a bad faith, and for one fact, it's also against the court's rules. And folks, keep following the Variety Online News. My name is Archie Bowen, bringing you this live coverage from the court yard here in Monrovia, at the Supreme Court of Liberia, where the Criminal Code A is providing a major ruling on the defense counsel plead to suppress evidence in the Arson case at the Capitol building. So yes, if you are following, let's get your own views, let's get your own analysis on both from the defense counsel plea to have this trial televised or recorded, and what do you make up of the prosecution team request for the court to deny the defense claim or the defense plea to have the trial televised? What do you make of it? Do you think that the trial be live screen or recorded? Do you think that the request by the defense counsel is in a bad faith as it was proposed by the prosecution team? Or do you think that the court, in its own wisdom, should validate the plea of the defense counsel and accept that for public interest, since the court has ruled similar case, and since there is nothing to hide in this case, the court should live stream the trial? Are you supporting the defense counsel plea, or are you against the defense counsel plea? Let's get your views as we are here bringing you this live coverage. So yes, let's get your view. Keep providing more comments as we are awaiting signals from our colleague Rachel Watson, who is in the hall to give us the latest development. As we await our colleague Watson, who is in the hall to give us the latest development. Let's get your view and let's get your own opinion on the defense counsel plea to have the trial televised. Let's get your view on the prosecuting team request to the court to deny the plea that it is not in a good faith. The defense counsel is asking or requesting the court to have the trial televised. What do you make of the entire trial? And as it is ongoing, the hearing is ongoing, and sooner or later we're going to be getting views of some of those legal luminaries will be coming out of the hall. So they are not different from other persons that is in South Beach. Amasi Grant. No one is above the law. The law is the law. Laws inside. Bambio giving your own comment. And so folks, keep following the Variety Online News. My name is Archie Bourne, bringing this live coverage out here at this hour. Keep following. I think the government should just forget about this case because they don't have any good evidence on these people. So that's Charles Sheriff on takes on the ongoing case. So keep following, share. Let's get your comments. Let's get your views, opinion, and analysis on this ongoing case here at the Criminal Court A against former Speaker Jay Fonati-Kofa and others. Let's get your own views. Let's get your own comments. What do you make up of the defense counsel plea after the motion filed to suppress evidence was filed? And it was denied by Judge Roosevelt Zerwilly. The defense counsel is now asking for public live streaming of the trial. The defense counsel now saying that the trial should be live screened for the public to witness. But on the other hand, the prosecuting team is saying they don't want the court to accept the defense counsel plea or request to have the trial televised. The prosecuting team is saying that the request from the defense counsel is in a bad faith and also is against the rules of the court. So that's the development so far. As the case is ongoing, we are here awaiting signal from our colleague to update us on the latest development from there. We're waiting our colleague Watson to provide an update So as it is, the motion filed by the defense counsel to suppress evidence have been denied by Judge Roosevelt Zerwilly. So former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa and others are now expected to face full trial. So former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa and others are expected to face full trial. So Joan Wild Phillips said, let the case be on live screen to allow the public to follow. So Mr. Phillips won he's in concurrence with the defense counsel plea to have the full trial televised of live screen for the public to watch and see how the proceedings will go on. For them, the prosecuting team on the other hand said they don't want this to be done. The plea of the defense counsel is in a bad faith. They don't see that necessary, and in fact it's against the rule of the court. So the court should not accept that request from the defense counsel on grounds that they want to buy sentiment from the public. They want to buy sentiment from the public. So, folks, that's it. That's it. Keep following. My name is Archie Bowen, and this is Variety Online News, bringing you this live coverage of happenings from the Supreme Court of Liberia, where the Criminal Code A is providing a ruling on the defense counsel plea to suppress evidence in the ongoing Arson case on the Capitol building, and former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa and others. So yes, let's get your view, more and more comments in the comment section. Liberians who are watching, tell us what do you make up of the development so far from the hearing. What do you make up of the development so far from the hearing, from the defense counsel and the prosecuting team? What are your inputs? What are your opinions and analysis? Let's get you on the platform this hour as we await a major development from our colleague who is in the hall, keeping us abreast with some development as the hearing is ongoing. So yes, the hearing has commenced, and Judge Roosevelt Zerwilly has denied the defense counsel plea to suppress evidence. So the defense counsel is saying that the Supreme Court has ruled on similar matters to allow the large screening on the entire proceedings. Since in fact there is nothing to hide in this trial, they are making requests in public interest, right? So the defense counsel is making the request in public interest, since the Supreme Court has ruled on similar case, and they won the live streaming of the trial. They want the full trial to be live screened, televised for the public to witness. And the prosecuting team is saying that no, they don't want it. They don't want the court to accept that plea. They are not doing it in a good faith. They are doing it to bow public sentiment. In fact, to have the trial live screen is against the court's rule. And so this is where we are. Keep following the Variety Online News. Share, invite others to witness, invite others to follow as well. So bringing more and more updates from Liberia, different parts of the world. The Variety Online News bring you investigative, well-balanced story to you, the public, and to our many followers and viewers. At this time, my name is Archie, born here at the Supreme Court of Liberia, bringing you the art view as the hearing is ongoing, and giving you update of some major development from the hearing. So Mohamed Ali Ba following us there from Center Face City, River G County, Liberia. Mohamed, thank you so much for joining us. Indeed, you are watching this live coverage from the Supreme Court of Liberia, where the Criminal Code A is turning down a major ruling on the motion filed by the defense counsel to suppress evidence. The defense counsel argued that the evidence provided by the prosecuting team lacks credibility. In fact, the NSA was hugely involved into those evidence gathering. That their clients were suppressed. The client weren't given due process. They were denied their right to counsel, and on that basis, those evidence should not be accepted by the court. So today was the day set aside for the court to provide ruling on whether the motion filed by defense counsel should be accepted or not. And if the court was going to accept the motion filed by the defense counsel, then it means that former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa and others were going to be set free from this case. But currently, as we speak, the court has denied the defense counsel request, and now they are expected to go for full trial. So as the full trial is expected to take place, the defense counsel is asking the court that since they have ruled similar matters, they want this case or the trial to be televised or live streamed for the public to witness and see how the proceeding is ongoing. But on the other hand, the prosecuting team is saying no, they don't want that. They don't want the court to accept the plea from the defense counsel. And the prosecuting team, that's the government, is saying that the plea is not in a good faith. In fact, the plea of the defense counsel is against the court's rule. So currently as we speak, they're where they are, because we have never gotten any new development from our colleague Arson, who is up, who is in the hall, providing us this major development. And so folks, that's it. My name is Arson, and this is the Variety Online News, bringing you this live coverage here at the Supreme Court of Liberia. The out view of the area as the hearing is ongoing. So for today's hearing was expected to shape the entire case, currently as we speak, from what we have gathered. It means that former Speaker J. Fanatic Over and others will now face full trial. Fresh development from the houses, and the judge has ruled denying the defense counsel plea to have the trial televised of live stream. So the plea from the defense counsel has been denied by the judge. So it means that the trial will not be live streamed or televised. Folks, it is the later development coming in, says that the judge has ruled against the defense team plea to have the trial televised. Yes, that's the update from our end here. That's the update from the hall. Judge Roosevelt Zell-Wiley has denied the defense counsel plead to have the trial live screen for public interest or for the public to witness. The lawyer or the counselor Roosevelt Zell-Wiley have accepted the request of the prosecutor's team and have denied the defense counsel plea to have the trial televised. So as we speak currently, that's the update. As the case is ongoing, as the hearing is ongoing, the defense counsel plead that for the sake of public interest, for the sake of the public, they want the trial to be televised or recorded. But then the court have denied that plea by the defense counsel. And so, folks, it is what it is currently. So, former Speaker J. Fonatic Kofa and others are expected to fix full trial as their defense counsel plead to have the evidence suppressed was denied by Judge Roosevelt Zell-Wiley, and also their defense plead to have the trial televised was also denied by Judge Roosevelt Zell-Wiley as well. So we're now expecting a full date of trial. We are now expecting a full date for trial and to see how it will go on. So let's get your view, let's get your comments, let's get your opinion on this. The judge have denied the defense counsel plead to have the trial televised. What do you make of it? What's your So the judge is now ruling on the motion to suppress evidence. The judge is now ruling on the motion to suppress evidence. Judge Roosevelt Zell-Wiley is now ruling to suppress. Is now ruling on the motion to suppress evidence. Judge Roosevelt Zell-Wiley is now ruling on the motion to suppress evidence filed by the defense counsel. And we wait to see the outcome of the ruling. As unconfirmed report says, former Speaker J. Fonatic Kofa and others will now face the full trial. So we have been informed that the judge is now ruling on the motion filed by the defense counsel to suppress evidence. So we're waiting to see any of this. So folks, that's it. We're still here, bringing you this live coverage. My name is Arson, and this is the Variety Online News. Bringing you this coverage of the Criminal Code 8 final ruling on the motion filed by the Defense Counsel to suppress evidence by the prosecuting team. Currently, the judge is now ruling on the motion to suppress evidence filed by the Defense Counsel against the prosecuting team. So, as the case is unfolding, the Defense Counsel plead for the trial to be televised on large screen, but again, it was denied by the court after the prosecuting team argued that the Defense Counsel plead to have the trial televised is against the court's rules, and also is intended to have to bias sentiment from the public. The plea of the Defense Counsel is not in a good faith. That was the argument of the prosecuting team, and on that basis, the judge have denied the Defense Counsel plea to have the trial televised. So currently, the judge is now providing his ruling on the motion filed to suppress evidence by the Defense Counsel. So we wait to see how it ends. We wait to see the outcome of the ruling from Judge Roosevelt Z. Willie. As it's ongoing, keep following the Variety Online News. And my name is Arson, bringing you this live coverage. My colleague Rachel Watson is in the hall. As the hearing is ongoing, he's providing update. And we are relaying it out here to the public as we out in the vicinity of the Supreme Court of Liberia. So now the update here is that the court have decided to not provide the ruling on the motion of suppression filed by the Defense Counsel. And the court now want to see as to whether the Defense Counsel allegations of torture and sodomizing those defendants were actually true. So now the court is now saying that all of those 6 defendants will now be taken to the JFK health center or health facility to check as to whether the Defense Counsel allegations of torture and sodomizing those defendants are true. So now the court has ordered a chief clerk. The clerk of the court has been ordered to write a communication to JFK Hospital to carry out medical examination. So now the court clerk is expected to write a communication to authority of the JFK Hospital to carry out medical examination on those defendants. So the ruling for today is withheld. On reasons is that the court want to authenticate the Defense Counsel on allegations of torture, because in the 32 counts of the Defense Counsel to suppress evidence provided by the prosecuting team, the Defense Counsel argued that his client, those persons of interest, those who are who have been caught as persons of interest and they are currently beyond bars were tortured and sodomized by some officers of the NSA. So on that basis, the court now saying it want to see as to whether those allegations provided by the defense counsel is truth. So now the court is saying that those 6 defendants will be taken to the JFK hospital for medical examination to ascertain whether the claims by the defense counsel is truth. So they have ordered the clerk to read or communication to authorities of the JFK to carry on medical examination. So currently as we speak, that's the update from the hall as the hearing is ongoing. So the case is ongoing. The criminal code A is the one in charge of the case. But as we speak currently, I'm in the vicinity of the Supreme Court. And more besides, the hearing is ongoing. The judge, Roosevelt Zerweli of criminal code A, is the one in charge of this case currently as we speak. So, just to have you informed, this is the latest update as the hearing is ongoing. The court have decided to withhold today's ruling to find out whether those claims made by the defense counsel are true or not. So now the clerk of the court has been ordered to read a communication to authority of the JFK to carry out medical examination on those 6 defendants. To carry out medical examination on those 6 defendants that were accused of torture and being sodomized by officers of the NSA. This was one of the claims by the defense counsel in the 32 counts provided to the court by the defense counsel to have the evidence provided by the prosecuting team suppressed. So folks, that's it. That's the update from our end here. And that's the latest coming in. So folks, let's get your views and your opinion on this as we bring you this live coverage. Keep following. My name is Archie Bowen. Been here since this morning, and we are still here bringing you this update as my colleague Rachel Watson is up, is in the hall witnessing the hearing and giving me gist out here of what's unfolding. So as we speak currently, we are seeing some of those reporters who were in coming out. So it seems like the hearing has ended. So now the ruling has been rescheduled to next Wednesday. The court now wants to. So yes, former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa. Yes, former Speaker J. Fonati Kofa is. So, honorable counsel, good afternoon. We are too.
Today's proceedings.
Well, today's proceeding is good. I think is the purpose is that the public has interest in this case. Basically, what you hear that the judge was saying that the issues we raise are all issues of law. And next thing he had done is that he had authorized the clerk to write the JFK to do an examination of the defendants regarding the sodomization of the defendants' allegations and the torture. And so he said that is a factual issue. The only disagreement we have here is that we want an independent medical examination. We want a psychiatrist, we want a psychologist, a medical examiner to examine these guys. So that's the only exception we had with the judge. But that's what happened today.
Do you have a fear relative to the
JFK is controlled by government. That's the reason we said. You remember in the courtroom we said we need an independent, because you're talking about psychological torture. If somebody is physically harmed, they have other consequences. They suffer emotional distress, mental anguish, pains, and sufferings. And so that trauma, you need a psychologist involved. You also need a psychiatrist involved. The JFK does not have a psychologist or a psychiatrist. So what we need now is that we are asking the court to. That's why we are asking the court today.
Chief, you argue about the trial to be televised, and that plea was denied, knowing fully well that the court rules talks about no live streaming in the area. What do you think you want that trial to be televised?
What we brought before to the court's attention is not that this is not the only court that in Liberia you are here. They have proceedings that are not televised. When we were arguing the Fanatico Fast case, recordings were allowed in the Supreme Court. It's not all of the time. It's not all of the time. But there are sometimes because of the public interest nature. Because the purpose, if you go further on the purpose in the contemporary time is that you find out that it leads to transparency. It enhances community engagement. It enhances the public information regarding the transparency and accountability of the process. So you observe that these are laws that were made way back, and so sometimes the judges can decide, some courts can decide. Now, we are not the only country. There are other countries in the United States, in other African countries, they televise these certain cases. Okay, so it was just a question of the judge to see whether he could exercise his discretion. The same way the judge has the authority to exercise his discretion in the approval and the denial of bond when somebody poses a criminal appearance bond. So that was not an intentional question of disrespecting the rules of court. It is left with the discretionary authority of the court to say no. So what we just expected is that when the judge says, if the judge says no, it's no problem. We don't have problem with that. But we thought that it was important that maybe the public will follow it, like you have to the National Elections Commission. Majority of the cases that are heard at the National Elections Commission, election cases that come at the level of the Supreme Court, there are cases that you guys can go and tell about. I'll give you an example. The Ide Gonglo Wule case was the present vice president who was senator at the time, the Nimba election. I represented the former vice president, the present vice president, when you were contesting for the senatorial position. That entire trial was televised. It came at the level of the Supreme Court. So these are just questions that you will ask the judge to exercise his discretion. It is not with the intent to undermine the integrity of the court, because every lawyer is an arm of the court and must keep the dignity of the court and protect it.
So, Councilor,
so it was not embarrassing.
Relative to bringing in independent medical practitioners, will you trust the government to bring in their own independent
No, we say independent. No, the court will do that, we will make that decision. That's why we're asking the court. The reason we accepted is that we are asking the court to appoint an independent medical examiner. Because the defendants are saying they don't trust the JFK. Because government regulates the JFK. That's what they say. And we speak through they speak through us. It's not our own statement. We are the employees of the defendants. So whatever they tell us to say, but when it is signed in law, we got to bring it to the attention of the court for the court to take decision. That's all.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So folks, that was the voice of the Councillor Anton Johnson, defending former Speaker J. Fanatico and others here in the ongoing Arson case at the Criminal Court A. And so folks, that's it. I've been here bringing more updates are happening. This case has been rescheduled for next Wednesday on grounds that the on grounds that the court want to examine the medical situation of those 6 defendants after the defense counsel argued that they were tortured and sodomized by members or officers of the NSA. And folks, that's it. I've been here bringing this update. My name is Archie Bowen. This is the Variety Online News. Thanks to every one of you who've been watching. Thanks to all those who've been following us. Again, continuous following the Variety Online News for more and more interesting events. I should bring you happenings from across Liberia. And thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on this platform.